good one in store between the Minnesota Vikings and the Atlanta Falcons. Set to go, Younghoe Koo ready to do the honors. And this one is underway here on EA Sports. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Just like that, it's a gain of 12 and a first down on their first play.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Here's Cook again, and they will only muster a yard here to the 38. Well, this defense for the Falcons, they were very good last week in the win over New Orleans.
Yeah, what stood out to me on tape, the way they were flying to the football. So that tells me that they've got all their assignments down, and they're playing with extreme confidence.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Cousins. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
They'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one, forcing incompletion. That'll let him get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely, frees up your guys elsewhere. On 3rd down, Cousins. Being chased out left. And that is incomplete.
It'd be interesting to see what he decides to do the next time he's in the position we just saw there. Outside of the pocket, takes a throw downfield that turns up incomplete. I wonder if next time he might take off and run.
And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. Falcons 1st and 10 here as Ritter gets them ready at their own 20-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. He's got him in, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. Going for Kyle Pitts again. He's got him again. Touchdown, Falcons!
For a big tight end, he can sure move like a slot receiver when he gets a head of steam going. And as a defensive back, you've got a big decision to make when he's moving like that.
Extra point by Koo, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. As we grind toward the end of the season here, and they haven't had the season that they had hoped. So let me ask you to play GM. Where might they look to make some changes?
I think when you look into the upcoming draft, think hard about them drafting multiple offensive linemen. They've got to get stouter up front. And as a GM, it always tells me, Charles, this is a big boy league, and big people always end up winning games for you.
On 2nd down, Cook. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. 12 yards there. First down, Vikings.
How many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary, and that led to a really nice gain.
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Again, it's Cook. And he'll be tackled at the 45 following a gain of just 2.
Now that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater. He just made a great play there.
Hey, we're good, we're good.
Play fake. Cousins. And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there. And now 4th down. So on 4th down, on is the punter, Ryan Wright. And a fair catch signaled for and taken at about the 18-yard line. They'll call that a 33-yard punt with no return. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10.
Okay, ready?
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And they, if you just look at this game, Charles, on paper, they've got the edge, no doubt. They're hanging around the top of the NFC. On the other side, you got a squad that's towards the bottom of the NFC. There he goes, left side. 20. Touchdown, Falcons. A nice throw there by the second-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie, because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to his second and sometimes third progression. That was a nice play.
And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They've been outplayed early, no question. Down 14-0 already as they come up 1st and 10. And he'll get this up just shy of the 30.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
On 2nd down, it's Cook again. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
I do know from experience that if you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. Here's Cousins. The catch made by DeAndre Hopkins. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. From Falcon territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. From the gun, here's Cousins. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by A.J. Terrell. And the Falcons are going to take over once again at their own 25-yard line. So more problems here in this first quarter. Already 2 scores down, and here they give away the football.
And if I'm the head coach, I think it's time to start lighting a fire under some of these guys. Now, you have to do it within your personality. They can't perceive it as fake. But I'd go get after some guys because they don't look ready to play to me. They look flat, uninspired. It's time to get moving.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Everything about that play tells you about today's NFL offenses and what they're asking out of running backs. You can't just be a guy who can run the football. You have to be able to catch it as well, and he didn't get that done on that play.
So following the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 25. They'll run with a former Viking, Cordero Patterson. And yet again, he's stopped behind the line of scrimmage. Great job by this Vikings defense. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
Well, that kind of hit will certainly fire up your team, both on the field and on the sideline. Tackles for lost yardage, they're always welcome.
We're backed up here. Tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first. He's going to air one out. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. On 4th down, Bradley Pinion on to punt for the Falcons. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. This will be fielded at the 17. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And it will be Vikings ball, 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that work. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover the plague did on the last one.
Lorenzo Carter coming in for that outside linebacker spot, and he buries him for a loss of 7. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Cousins to throw it. The hook up on the right side to Hopkins. So give him 2 yards there on the completion. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. Cousins now. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, there's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
That's fielded at the 8-yard line. Found good room to run there. Returns at 14 yards. And it will be Falcon football. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here that could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But this is the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
Hey, green. Black. Yellow.
They'll send the tight end in motion left. The throw over the middle, taken in. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
As long as you go through your proper reads and progressions, the drag route can be one of those old reliable plays because usually it's good for a good chunk of yardage as we just saw there.
And those guys like it, right? They can get the ball with a full head of steam.
Especially against man coverage because man coverage, they're typically running away from someone and not worried about traffic coming out on the other end.
Got this complete to the tight end Pitts. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. That'll put him close to 100 yards receiving. He's at 98, and he's got a 1st down.
Hey, no fury. Ready.
On play action, they'll throw. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll be marked down right at the 20-yard line.
We know play callers can be very creative in this game today, but sometimes when they've got receivers with speed like this, they don't need to design incredibly complex calls. Sometimes it's just get the ball in his hands and let him do his thing. In a sense, less can become more, and it was right there.
The defense showing some anger after giving up the big play. This time they'll lose one or two. The Falcons are 12-4 now on the year. And they were winners their last time out, so they'll be looking to make it 2 in a row.
And so much about football, partner, comes down to mindset.
This to Pitts, and he's got him. Touchdown, Atlanta. Kyle Pitts, his second touchdown of the game, giving him 12 on the season. And the Falcons have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns. Koo able to connect on the extra point, and that makes the score 21-0. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession, but I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll check in with Jonathan Coachman from Orlando. He'll have highlights and analysis of this first half of play. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Open here, Adam Thielen. And he'll be stopped at the 27-yard line, well short of the first down marker. It's a gain of 11, but they're still well short. It's 4th down. And here's Ryan Wright now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. Oh, and what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line.
Ready.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And still plenty of time remaining here in the half, more than a minute. And we'll see if they just want to protect that lead or try to add on to it.
Well, with as much time as is left on the clock, I would imagine it would be the latter. I think they're going to try and add on to it. So what they're going to tell the team is very simply, if you can get out of bounds after making a play downfield, terrific. If you can't, everyone hustle to the line of scrimmage, either run another play or clock it and start over again.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
There's a lot about that play you could easily see coming. Backed up in the shadow of their own goal line, you know they're going to face pressure.
He's lucky his arm was going forward. It was close, but it was going forward.
Yeah, it could have been a safety or even given up a defensive touchdown.
They'd like to avoid punting from their own end zone so they could use something here on 3rd down. He'll look to throw. And the defense has it covered. It's intercepted. And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape, he's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
2nd down, they go right back to Cook. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
Listen to me. What?
Cousins to throw for it on fourth. And it's going to be batted down. It will go the other way with the football. The Vikings unable to convert here on fourth. And that will force a turnover on downs. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. And with a 3-score lead already, this is not time for a momentum change, so I'd imagine they'd be happy to just take this into the locker room. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. Tackle there by Lewis Seen. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. The Falcons back to receive. They've got the lead, and they'll get this football as the second half gets underway. Well, from deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line. They go play action here on first down. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. It'll be a loss of 10. And it'll bring up second.
No question, that was needed by the defense because they're already trailing by a couple of scores. They had to get off the field without allowing another one. That sack on the first play, that may have derailed this drive.
Now a quick slant as the throw's complete. So they'll get 8 out of that completion, and that'll make it 3rd and 13.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
They'll send a receiver in motion to the right. He's got his pass-catching tight end. That's Pitts. And this defense rallies, and they stop him short of the first down right near the 24. Here's Bradley Pena now as he'll kick it away for the second time. And he fields it cleanly. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. A nice run back there off the good punt. It's a 16-yard return. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Try to fire up that running game with Dalvin Cook. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 61 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game. Blocking at the point of attack there was very strong. He had a couple of running lanes.
And I never want to overlook the offensive line, but that's what they get paid to do. How about the quarterback? Everyone thinks all he's going to do is throw the football. His movement and deception can help the running game as well.
And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. That one's good for 35 yards on the ground and a first down. They'll try the wide side with Cook. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. Add the gain here to the previous play, and it's better than 40 yards total. They'll run with Cook. And for one of the few times here today, this one's not going to go anywhere. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. They run it again with Cook. Down at the 2. Broke through first contact, but ultimately stopped shy of the goal line. Here is Cook on 3rd and goal. And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. They'll wind up losing a full 10 yards on the play. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. And his kick here is good. And the deficit drops now from 21 down to 18. So the 3 points there, and CD, that helps them inch a bit closer.
Yeah, partner, when you're losing, any points you see go on the board in your favor, you're happy to take them.
And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. Your 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. They'll bring a receiver in motion left. 1 quarter remains here as the regular season starts to wind down. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15. Now back to throw. And he'll complete this one to Patterson. Finding room at midfield. Still on his feet. And he'll be forced out of bounds all the way down inside the 20. A big play there on the catch and run. 51 yards. The offense has to love that because that was just a dump down, and then he turned something out of seemingly nothing.
And the best quarterbacks understand that dumping it down is often a good play, a better play than even what was drawn up.
And he'll be stopped after a gain of only a couple down to the 15-yard line. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. Here's a 4-receiver look now. 3 of those guys out to the right side on 2nd and 8. They'll send a receiver in motion to the left. Here's 2nd and 8. And he's not able to get away. Sacked back at the 22. Ritter and the Falcons need an answer, and a big play here on 3rd and long following the sack. They'll set up a throw. And incomplete on the deep ball. Despite the lead here in the 4th, they're still taking shots.
Not content to sit on this lead at all, and to me it raises the question of what's right in this game nowadays. Do you sit on the ball and run it because you have enough of a lead, or do you try and extend it because you always feel like the other team can come back?
Extend it. Have some fun. Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this 4th quarter. Stopped at his tracks by Chase Winovich.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
this offense on third down today, it's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. And he's got room. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. 137 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. So the big play moves him all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. Cousins gives way to Cook. And some room to work. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Dalvin Cook with his 13th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Vikings are finally into the end zone here in this 4th quarter. Extra point splits the uprights, and that cuts the lead to 24-10. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line. About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. On 2nd down, a run with Patterson. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. The slot man in motion right. He'll get that one complete to Connor. And he's going to have a Falcons first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Ready,
and they run the option here on 1st and 10. 6 yards there on the keeper. It's 2nd down. And in this situation with the lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
A shotgun handoff to Patterson. Oh, he's got some Cordell Patterson. Touchdown, Falcons. Cordell Patterson. Halfway to 100 now with career touchdown number 50. And the Falcons are looking to make it 2 straight as they add on to this 4th quarter lead. Extra point by Koo, up and good. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the 4th quarter. This would be their 3rd straight defeat. And he gets forward up the middle, but only for a couple. It'll be 2nd down.
Defenses always talk about earning the right to rush the passer on 3rd down. And you know what offenses want? Win first down so they can set things up for themselves better.
And that wasn't helpful there. Not a big impact on 1st down. On 2nd down, it's Cook again. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL, and he's had a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it 1 more time, so make sure you get in shape.
And he's going to be brought down short of the first at about the 31-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup there, but it's going to take him to 4th down. One last shot now for Cousins. All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Sean Murphy-Bunting. And the Falcons come up with a late turnover, but it will probably only matter to the statisticians as this ball game is now officially over. So time runs out. It's a victory for the Atlanta Falcons. And